Welcome to Cat the Minion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. I'm doing card of the day. I'm going to pull at least one extra card though, because I felt very strongly that I wanted to use the Mystical Shaman Oracle Deck, but I also felt like I wanted to get a Dreams of Gaia tarot card as well. So I'll get at least two cards, but let's start with the main one. I did already clear and shuffle these decks. Let's see what's going to come out here. Card of the day. I think I'll just let a couple of them fall out in a pile. Trying to get a single card for right now. Yeah. The Dreams of Gaia cards were flopping around all over the place. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna just take this pile of cards that attacked me. Ghost Dance. This came out a couple of days ago. And I think it was inverted as a doubling of an inverted council card. Alright, now, notice that today is 3/3/2020. And incidentally, I had an appointment at 11 o'clock today. And when I realized, when I wrote down in my calendar 3/3/11, I was like, whoa, hang on a second there. Because I was not the one who chose the appointment time. That was what was offered to me. And I was like, perhaps I should take this. So this is 22. And I got it just the other day. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pull out the book and read this in just a second. But I did want to point out that the 3/3 on 2/2 is somewhat significant. So there's this definite it's like stuff that's kind of boiling or restless. It was like a probability cloud that's ready to spike into some kind of matter formation. I want to see what these other cards that attacked me. Yeah, see, here's the council again. Upside down, number 11, just like it was the other day. Fire, 19, just like it was on the bottom of the deck the other day. But now I have one, the Ancient Ones. Now, one is the Magician card in the regular tarot. And again, 19 and 1, 20. 2020. And I'm seeing these together as being that 3/3/33. So the council is like higher beings, or it could even be your own higher self that's attached to you, meeting with other higher selves. It's just this council of higher energy, higher dimensional beings that are there to arrange knowledge and guidance and timing for what's going on in the 3D world. Now, Ghost Dance, this came out, and I said that it was ancestors or ancestor-like beings coming and bringing in like a master class of information through these. It's like these guys bring in their like bosses that are in a more ethereal realm to come and bring down this really ancient wisdom to propel you forward. And then we have today, after like a couple days of simmering, we have the, I mean, it was sort of like the meaning of the message, the meat and potatoes. It's the, okay, so it's the proof in the pudding. This is the information itself. So, like I said, Ancient Ones. It could be ancestors, it could be deeply rooted wisdom that's been lost for, at least from our perspective, a long time. Because like all times are happening at the same time. It's just very dense information that we're no longer familiar with, that seems very distant in space and or time. So I want to get the book and skim it for these cards. Let me flip that up for a second. Huh. There we go. I opened right up to it. That is what I opened the book to. Okay. The ghost dance of the American Plains Indians united the spirits of the living with those of the ancestors to bring peace to the world. When the ancestors are honored, they bring harmony to us. When we hold them responsible for all that is wrong with us today, they haunt us. Honor the spirits of the ancestors and receive their lessons and gifts. This includes honoring your own past lives. Okay. So the ancestors have a message of healing and a powerful medicine to offer you. Create a sacred moment at your altar, light a candle to them, and let their wisdom infuse you. At this stage in your life, you are done repeating their tragic stories. Step into the abundance that is offered to you, receive the gifts of those that have come before you, and write a new story for your life. Okay, so that's really about understanding. It's like, understand your history so that you don't repeat it. But it's not like you're saying, these people that made all these mistakes way back in time, whether they're, you know, famous people or your grandparents, you'd be like, those guys were assholes. What the hell? They screwed everything up for me and now it sucks. It's like saying, you know, these were their life lessons and this is what they went through, this is what they learned, and maybe, you know, it does have a direct linking effect to you, but you have the ability to make your own decisions and learn what you can from it. So history doesn't repeat itself if you're gaining the wisdom. You don't have to follow the same patterns. You can change the waveforms. Let me just skim the council because that's twice this week that I've had that. And it is the factor of ghost dance. Took me a while to remember that. I have not been. It's been like 20 years since I had math in school, right? Yeah, the collective wisdom of humanity. The life review. Wisdom is available to you at all times. To remind you of your place around a sacred fire. You will claim it when you own your inner wisdom. Okay, so because this is upside down, it says, you are never alone. Turn to the council to find the guidance you seek and listen to the voice that arises spontaneously. Turn a deaf ear to that nagging voice from your ego that tells you you are not up for the task before you. Okay. And then they would encourage you to invite the council in when you're doing your spiritual practices. So, again, it's the idea of not saying, like, you left the world or be in this state and, yes, I'm in him. It's allowing a collective wisdom from all things that have happened to come into you and receive it without that internal judgy dialogue. Alright, so no, I did pass fire. Let me skim that real quick. I'm hearing Venus by this shocking blue. Look that song up. I think they use it in Razor commercials now, but it's not the original version. 19. The black and white Earth picture looks like David Bowie. Just a little bit. Fire. Okay. All-consuming. Situations can transform into beauty or chaos. So again, it's a decision not to lay waste to... it's like, don't put everyone on blast for what's happened before. It's the passion can either be creative passion or destructive passion. You know, like you play with fire, you might get burned, but you can also rise from the ashes like the phoenix. So in the invert here, it's like, have you been reactive and short-tempered towards others? Beware of backfiring. Now is not the time to act or react. It's time to tame and befriend your inner fire so it does not scorch you. So it's really about being centered in your own passions, and when you go through everything that's happened to you, it's like, don't let your past consume you with your own hatred, basically. Because, like, the ego wants to feed on all this negativity if that's what it's used to eating. And the ego is there for survival and stuff, but when no other voices are allowed in, there's only that ranting going on, you're going to be in a position where you won't be able to move forward. Okay, so it's like it's kind of like having your soul weighed when you die, when they put the heart on the scale, but it's like instead of actually having to perish, it's like a weigh station saying, all right, check yourself. You know, you need to it's like scrubbing before going into surgery. You're about to get the big manual. You know, we're going into the big time here. Alright, so let me get the ancient ones here real quick. Says, these are the shamans of old who defeated death and escaped from the tyranny of time. So again, they're not locked into that, this happened before, this is what's happening now, and it's their fault that it happened. They're like, oh, we see this, it's a big cycle that moves, and there's different patterns that go in and out, so they're not tied into that cause and effect. It can counsel us after we say yes to our calling. Okay. Yeah, it's about crafting a new destiny. It says, do not hesitate to bite off more than you can chew because you have unlimited spiritual resources right now. Okay. Again, because you have all this help. You have the ancestors, the council, this master class with the ghost dance. You have fuel to move forward in 2020. Okay, so that was a lot just there. I want to see what's on the bottom of the deck. Hearth of the Sky, number 24. This came out upside down, and it's got a moon on it, and it's a total of 6, which would be a choice. It would also be healing. Oh, I read that as Hearth of the Sky, but it's actually Heart. So again, it's emotional work, but it's also that, like, looking upwards and making that decision within you to it's not battle your ego, it's heal the ego so that it doesn't consume you in the egoic fire. Alright, so I want to see if I can get a card to pop out of the Dreams of Gaia tarot here. Okay, I just had 2 flip over. Oh, why am I not surprised? The King of Fire. This came out when I was shuffling, and I heard it to the tune of that Johnny Cash song, Ring of Fire. The King of Fire. Some Leo energy up in there. So, balance that shit out. You're the... And then 14, it's also temperance. That's also, again, healing, like the number 6. But here it's also balance. It's also mastering that domain. And then union. Oh, Jesus. Try to jump out of my hand. Union. So this can be relevant for people in a twin flame situation, but it's also uniting the ego and the higher self so that they're not in competition. And then we have a butterfly down here in the sacral region, indicating that transformation. And then we have all this fire up, fiery yellow up in the solar area. We have third eye activation, and then we have these the Kundalini snakes coming up here and really lighting up your body as a tuning fork for all this information that's going to come down. Okay. It's number 13 in this deck, which would be a death cycle as well. Transformation, transition. Yeah, and then the 7 of Swords inverted on the bottom. So that would be, that's like an end to sneakiness, because usually the 7 of Swords is the guy trying to steal stuff. It's, it'd be, again, be that, like, overcoming the ego, waking up out of ego-driven communication with others. And then this guy looks kind of like a mystic here with he's got that information. He's like, hey man, have you heard about quantum mechanics? It's good stuff. So I think that's plenty, considering that I only really wanted 1 card. And I would say it was gonna be Ghost Dance, but I think the card that's actually more important, well, yeah, I mean, I actually feel like the Fire card is more important. So let's just say that Fire is the card of the day. It's hot. Okay. Yeah, if you want to order a reading or donate or like, share, subscribe, so, there. I have prints, I have art merch, I have actual art things, I have coloring books, I have a poetry book, I have a couple of playing card decks available. What else have I got? I think that's it. And then obviously I have the tarot readings. All of that information that I just held up on my sign is going to be in the description box of my infomercial video, which is also linked below this one. Bye.